Carmen Verhosek personifies that old saying that it takes a village to raise a child. She was raised in Cleveland, in a home where she lived with her great-grandmother, her mother, and her sister. And she recalls visiting her grandfather as a child and telling him that she wanted to grow up to be a lawyer.
I remember wanting to go to law school and aspiring to be a lawyer since I was a little girl. In fact, I remember going to visit my grandfather in Puerto Rico as a child and saying to him that I wanted to be an attorney when I grew up. And his response, sueños grande por una niña tan pequeña, which means big dreams for such a small girl. And I didn't really understand what that meant, but as I grew older, it became to be clearer to me in the fact that I am the first generation graduate in my family and then now first generation lawyer. So I think to him it was just a grandfather's loving way of saying, you know, dream big, but it's going to take some doing to get there. He passed away before I graduated from law school, but I feel that he would be proud too.
During her sophomore year of college, she became pregnant with her son, and it was then that she made sure that she lived her life more intentionally. Her choices pushed her to protect him from generational traumas.
I am an estate planning attorney, but my focus really is on elder law. And one of the reasons why I picked elder law and it spoke to me, it spoke to my heart, was because I witnessed, again, living with my great-grandmother as a child, I witnessed the difficulties that it was for her navigating the Medicaid program and long-term care for her, especially with an English barrier, right? And so having that in my family and experiencing firsthand, I just knew that when I had the first opportunity to help people navigate some of these complex agency laws and rules, that I wanted to do that. And so going to law school, I already had known that when I became an attorney that's what I wanted to focus on. It's just something that spoke near and dear to me, and I witnessed firsthand, and that is why I ended up choosing elder law as a career.
Although English is Carmen's second language, she managed to keep her eyes on her goal of becoming an attorney. She understood barriers all too well and seemed to always pick up on when others were struggling to be seen.
When we were in law school, we had a group project, and she and I were the group. So we had to give some presentation in one of our courses and write a paper. And during that time, my mother was very sick, and nobody knew. That's actually the reason I transferred back to Cleveland State. Nobody knew, but she knew. And well, at that time she didn't know, actually. She just knew that like something was off. But we have this project due, and it's like a huge portion of our grade. But we were going through a tough time at home, and Carmen at some point was like, forget about the project, what's going on? And I might have cried, but I told her what was going on, and we just sat and talked about it for a long time, not worried about the project. And from then on, she consistently and constantly checked in. And ultimately, my mom did end up passing, and Carmen was right there. She came to the wake, checking on me, making sure that I was keeping up in school. At that time, it was my last year of school. I'm getting ready to graduate. And she was one of the main people who encouraged me, instead of taking a semester off, to just stay the course. You're gonna be okay. You have people in your corner to support you. And I ended up graduating law school. I made the dean's list that semester, and I took the bar and passed the bar, and I owe a lot of that encouragement for that success to Carmen.
Thank you for all that you do for community members planning their family legacy. Leadership Lorain County's 2023 Emerald Honoree of Inspirational Leadership, Carmen Verhosek.